Hello students, welcome to my YouTube channel Catalyst Chemistry Classes. So in today's session, I'm going to discuss the classification of elements. In that, I'm going to discuss synopsis as well as some shortcuts and tricks to remember the concepts easily. So before starting, if you are not subscribed to my channel, please do subscribe and share it with your friends. So the introduction here, the periodic table helps us to understand a systematic study of the various elements found in our nature, without which it would have been impossible for us to study all the elements. So that by classifying the elements into various groups and periods, a comparative study of the elements and their compounds can be done. It also helps us to analyze the periodic trend in various properties, such as ionization potential, electron affinity, electronegativity, etc. Then, development of periodic table. So, the first hypothesis or the first theory is Proud's theory or Proud's hypothesis. So, he was simply assumed that all the elements are made up of hydrogen. So, we can say that atomic weight of element which is equal to N. So that atomic weight of one hydrogen atom that is equal to 1, where N will be the number of hydrogen atom 1, 2, 3, etc. Then drawback of this Proud's hypothesis. Every element cannot be formed by hydrogen, and the atomic weight of all the elements were not found as whole number. For example, if you consider chlorine, which is having the atomic weight 35.5 unified mass. Similarly, strontium, which is having 87.5 unified mass. Then, next comes Dobereiner's triad rule. So here, he have considered the three elements of a group having a similar chemical and physical properties. The atomic weight of the middle element is the mean difference or mean average of other two elements present in the triad. And some examples of such triads are given in the table. Then he also pointed out the triad iron, cobalt, and nickel, in which the atomic weights of the elements are almost the same. So here are the given examples of Dobereiner's triads: lithium, sodium, potassium, calcium, strontium, barium, sulfur, selenium, technetium, tellurium, chlorine, bromine, iodine. So if you consider any triad, the atomic mass of the central atom will be the average of other two elements present in the triad. So other examples are potassium, rubidium, cesium, then phosphorus, astatine, then hydrogen, fluorine, chlorine, etc. Drawback of this Dobereiner's triad will be all the known elements could not be arranged as triads. Then Newland's law of octave. So in this law, he has considered 8 elements in the increasing order of their atomic weights. And every 8th element had similar properties to first one, like the first and 8th note in music. For simple, if you consider sa, re, ga, ma, pa, the, ni, sa, the first and last, that is 8th note in the music is sa only. Similarly, if you consider these Newland's law of octave, he has given 2 examples like lithium, beryllium, boron, carbon, nitrogen, oxygen, fluorine, again sodium. We know that lithium and sodium are present in the same group, hence they show similar properties. Similarly, the second set is sodium, magnesium, aluminum, silicon, phosphorus, sulfur, chlorine, potassium. Again, sodium, which is similar to potassium because they are present in the same group. Then, inert gases were not discovered till then, and all the elements could not be classified on the basis of this Newland's law of octave. Then comes Lothar-Meyer's curve. He plotted a curve between atomic weight and atomic volume of different elements. Then the following observation can be made from the curve. The most electropositive elements like alkali metals, they occupy the peak position on the curve, and less electropositive metals like alkaline earth metals, occupies the descending position on the curve. Then metalloids and transition metal occupies the bottom part of the curve. Then most electronegative elements are probably in P block, so occupies the ascending position on the curve. So that elements having similar properties occupy similar position on the curve. Then he came to the conclusion that on the basis of this curve, Lothar Meyer proposed that the physical properties of the elements are periodic functions of their atomic weight. And this becomes the base of Mendeleev's periodic table. So here is the Lothar Meyer's curve. Then telluric helix. So it is a three-dimensional periodic table given by Tichon-Tortoise. Then comes Mendeleev's periodic table. So according to this table, he states that the physical and chemical properties of the elements are the periodic functions of their atomic weight. What are the characteristics of Mendeleev's periodic table? So it is based on atomic weight, and only 63 elements were known in that time. The noble gases were not discovered. He was the first scientist to classify the elements in a symmetric manner, that is in horizontal rows and in vertical columns. Then horizontal rows are called periods, and there were 7 periods in Mendeleev's periodic table. And vertical columns are called groups, and there were 8 groups in Mendeleev's periodic table. Then each group up to 7th is divided into A and B subgroups. A subgroup elements are called normal elements, and B subgroup elements are called transition elements. The 8th group consists of 9 elements in 3 rows, transitional metal groups. The elements belong to same group exhibit similar properties. Then, what are the merits of Mendeleev's periodic table? So, study of elements. For the first time, all known elements were classified in groups according to their similar properties. So, study of the properties of the elements becomes very easier. Then, prediction of new elements. It gave encouragement to the discovery of new elements of some gaps were left in it, like scandium, gallium, germanium, technetium. These were the elements for whom position and properties were well defined by Mendeleev even before their discoveries. And he left the blank spaces for them in this table. Then, correlation of doubtful atomic weights. That is, correction were done in atomic weight of some elements, like atomic weight which is equal to valency into equivalent weights. Then, initially it was found that equivalent weight of beryllium is 4.5 and it is trivalent. So the weight of beryllium was 13.5 and there is no space in Mendeleev's table for the element. So after correction, it was found that beryllium is actually divalent with valency 2. So the weight of beryllium becomes 2 into 4.5, which is equal to 9. And there were a space between lithium and boron for this element in Mendeleev's table. So that if Mendeleev's periodic table, here for gallium, he has given eka aluminium, and for scandium, he has given the space like eka boron, for germanium, eka silicon, and for technetium, eka manganese. So the correction were done in atomic weight of elements are uranium, beryllium, then indium, gold, platinum, etc. Then what are the defects of Mendeleev's periodic table? The position of hydrogen is uncertain. It has been placed in first A group as well as 7th A group because of its resemblance with both the groups. Then no separate position were given to isotopes. And it's not clear whether the lanthanides and actinides are related to 2nd A group or 2nd B group. Although there is no resemblance except valency of subgroup A and B, they have been put in the same group. Order of increasing atomic weight is not strictly followed in the arrangement of elements in the periodic table. For example, cobalt, which is having the atomic weight 58.9, is placed before iodine, that is having 127, and argon, that is 39.9, before potassium, that is having atomic mass 39. Then comes the modern periodic table or modified Mendeleev's periodic table. So it was proposed by Henry Moseley. The modern periodic table is based on the atomic number. So Moseley did an experiment in which he bombarded high-speed electron on different metal surfaces and obtained X-rays. He found out that square root of the frequency, which is directly proportional to Z, means atomic number. Modern periodic law, which states that the physical and chemical properties of elements are the periodic functions of their atomic number. Then, characteristics of modern periodic table. There are 9 vertical columns called groups, and first 2/8 group plus 0 group of inert gas. And inert gases were introduced in periodic table by Ramsay, and 7 horizontal series called periods. So this is Moseley's experiment. He has taken the graph or the curve that is in between square root of frequency of X-ray with respect to atomic masses. Then long form or present form of modern periodic table. It is also called as Bohr, Bury, and Rang-Werner periodic table. It is based on Bohr-Bury electronic configuration concept and atomic number. And this model is proposed by Rang and Werner. And 7 periods and 18 vertical columns are there in the present form of modern periodic table. According to IUPAC, 18 vertical columns are named as first to 18 group, and the element belongs to same group having same number of electrons in the outermost shell, so their properties are similar. Elements belonging to same group having same number of electrons in the outermost shell, so their properties are similar. So description of periods. So first period is known as shortest period because it consists of only 2 elements. Second period and third period are considered as short period because they consist of 8 elements. Then fourth and fifth group elements, fourth and fifth period elements consist of 18th element. Then they considered as long period. Sixth element that consists of 32 groups, hence it is considered as longest period. Then seventh period, which consists of 26 elements. Still, some of the elements are not well known of their properties, so that the period is considered as incomplete period. Then, important points. The second period elements like lithium, beryllium, boron shows diagonal relationship with third period elements of magnesium, aluminum, silicon, respectively. So, lithium, beryllium, boron are called bridge elements because of same ionic potential value. They show similarities in properties. What is ionic potential? Which is the ratio of charge to radius or charge to size. Hence, these elements shows a diagonal relationship with each other. So the third period elements, sodium, magnesium, aluminum, silicon, phosphorus, sulfur, chlorine, are called typical elements because they represent the properties of other elements of their respective group. Atomic number of last inert gas element is 86. Then number of gaseous elements 11 for hydrogen, nitrogen, oxygen, fluorine, chlorine plus noble gases. Number of liquid elements 6. That is cesium, francium, gallium, mercury, then bromide and UUP. Bromine is the only non-metal which exists in liquid form. Number of solid elements is 95. If discovered elements are 112. Then second period contains maximum number of gaseous elements. They are 4, nitrogen, oxygen, fluorine as well as neon. Then it comes to the nomenclature of elements. IUPAC give names to the elements above atomic number 100 as follows. For 0, nil. For 1, un. For 2, bi. For 3, tri. For 4, quad. For 5, pent. For 6, hex. For 7, hept. Sept. For 8, oct. And for 9, n. In all the elements, suffix has to be added like I to m. So let me take 2 or 3 examples. Like if you consider the atomic number 104, then the IUPAC name will be unnilquadium and the symbol is UNQ. And IUPAC official name for this element is Rutherfordium with symbol RF. Similarly, if you consider atomic number of 109, IUPAC name will be unnilenium, symbol UNE. And the official name is Meitnerium with symbol Mt. Classification of elements into different blocks. We have 4 different blocks like S, P, D, F. S block elements, the elements in which outermost electron enters the s orbital of outermost shell, in which it is having the outermost electronic configuration ns1 to 2. And here are those s block elements, like first group elements are known as alkali metals and second group elements are known as alkaline earth metal. The first 2 groups are considered as s block elements. Then p block elements, the elements in which differentiating electron enters the p orbital of valence shell, and its outermost electronic configuration will be ns2 np1 to 6. And from group 13 to group 18, the elements are known as p block elements, which consists of most of the non-metals. Then d block elements, they are also known as transition metals. The elements in which differentiating electron enters the d orbital of penultimate shell. Hence, it is having the electronic configuration n-1, d1 to 10, ns0 to 2. And this d block elements exhibits variable oxidation state. From group 3 to group 12, the elements are known as d block elements, and which consists of 4 series 3D, 4D, 5D, 6D based on the penultimate shell number. Then F block elements, the differentiating electron enters the F orbital of antipenultimate shell, and its electronic configuration is n-2 F1 to 14, n-1 D0 to 1, ns2. And these F block elements are also known as inner transition metals. And there consists of 2 series. One is lanthanide series, another one is actinide series. Then determination of period, block and group of an element. Period number. The period number of the element can be predicted from the principal quantum number n of the valence shell. Block number. The last electron enters in which orbital is known as block number. Then group number, it is predicted from the number of electrons in the valence shell and penultimate shell. So here is some examples that are given in the table. And one more thing, S and P block elements are collectively known as representative elements because they represent both metals as well as non-metals in our periodic table. Then periodicity. The regular gradation in properties from top to bottom in a group and from left to right in a period is called periodicity in properties. So in this, we can discuss the variations of the properties like physical properties and chemical properties of those elements across the period and down the group. In a period, the ultimate orbit remains same, but the number of electrons gradually increases across the period. And in a group, number of electrons in the ultimate orbit remains same, but the values of n increases, that is number of shells. Addition of new shells takes place down the group. Then, what are the causes of periodicity? The causes of periodicity in properties is due to same outermost shell electronic configuration coming at regular intervals of time. And in the periodic table, elements with similar properties occurs at interval of 2, 8, 8, 18, 18, and 32. Hence, these numbers are called as magic numbers. Then, periodic properties. Valency. We know that it is defined as the combining capacity of the elements. And the word valency is derived from an Italian word, valentia, which means combining capacity. Note, all the elements of the group have same valencies because they have same number of valence shell electrons. So, if you consider first 4 groups, 1, 2, 3, 4. So, for these groups, number of valency, which is equal to number of valence electron. So, here we can observe, for first group, both valency and valence electrons are 1. For second group, it is 2. And for third group, it is 3. And for fourth group, it is 4. Then comes from group 8 to group 12. Sorry, group 12 to group 18. So if you consider those groups in which from 15th to 18th. So I will write it here. So this is in the long form periodic table. It is group 1, group 2, group 13 as well as group 14 and 15, 16, 17, 18. So from group 1 to 14, the number of valency which is equal to number of valence electron. And from group 15 to 18, valency which is considered as 8 minus number of valence electron. So for 15 group, if you consider nitrogen, valency is 3 while valence electrons are 5. 8 minus number of valence electron 5 which gives 3. Similarly for oxygen family, that is 16 group, valency is 8 minus number of valence electron. It is 8 minus 6 gives 2. Similarly for 17 group, 8 minus 7 gives 1. For noble gases, 8 minus 8 gives 0. Hence they are not having any valency. Screening effect and effective nuclear charge. These are the main properties that are responsible for change or variation in different physical properties like ionization enthalpy, atomic radius, ionic radius, then electronegativity, electron affinity, and all. So first, we'll discuss the definition for screening effect and effective nuclear charge. The valence shell electrons suffer force of attraction due to nucleus and force of repulsion due to inner shell electrons. The decrease in force of attraction on valence electron due to inner shell electron is called screening effect or shielding effect. That is, total repulsive force is called shielding effect, which means the screening of outermost electron from inner shell electron by the nucleus is known as screening effect. And due to screening effect, valence shell electron experiences less positive force of attraction exerted by nucleus. That is, total attraction force experienced by valence electron is called CEF. There is a reduction in nuclear charge due to screening effect. Hence, reduced nuclear charge is called effective nuclear charge, which means the total or net positive charge experienced by the valence shell electron is called effective nuclear charge. If nuclear charge which is equal to Z, then effective nuclear charge which is equal to Z minus sigma, where sigma is nothing but screening constant or shielding constant. So that CEF which is equal to Z minus sigma. So here we can observe how the effective nuclear charge occurs or screening effect occurs. Then, periodic trends in properties of elements. Atomic radius. It is defined as half the distance between the nuclei of two bonded atoms, and it refers to both covalent and metallic radius depending on whether the element is metal or non-metal. Ionic radius. The removal of an electron from an atom results in the formation of cation, whereas gain of an electron leads to the formation of an anion. Then ionization enthalpy. It is the amount of energy required to remove the outermost electron from an isolated gaseous atom to form cation. And we know that successive ionization enthalpy, like ionization enthalpy, third ionization enthalpy is greater than second ionization enthalpy is greater than first ionization enthalpy. And the rare cases occurs when we consider stability of half filled as well as completely filled electronic configuration. Electron gain enthalpy. It is defined as the energy released when a neutral isolated gaseous atom accepts an electron to form gaseous negative ion, that is anion. Then electronegativity. It is the tendency of an atom of the element to attract the shared pair of electrons towards itself in a covalent bond, and it is represented by X. So this is the summary of trends in periodic properties of elements. So down the group, atomic radius, ionic radius, and metallic radius increases because of the addition of new shell, and across the period, these properties decreases because the addition of electron takes place in the same shell. Then the properties like ionization enthalpy, electron affinity, electron gain enthalpy increases across the period, decreases down the group because of these reasons. Across the period, shielding effect decreases and effective nuclear charge increases. Similarly, down the group, effective nuclear charge decreases and shielding effect increases. And remaining properties like non-metallic property increases across the period and down the group, it decreases. Similarly, metallic character decreases across the period and increases down the group. So here we have some more properties like electron shell. Number of electron shells remains the same across the period and electron shells increases by 1 down the group. Valence electron increases by 1 across the period and remains same down the group. Electronegativity increases across the period, decreases down the group. Ionization enthalpy increases across the period, decreases down the group. Electron affinity increases across the period, decreases down the group. So metallic character decreases across the period, increases down the group. Non-metallic character decreases down the group and increases across the period. And what are the merits and demerits of the periodic table? Merits based on atomic number and the position of elements are related to electronic configuration. Periodic properties shows gradual variation at regular intervals. And it's easier to remember and understood and reproduce. Demerits. Position of hydrogen is not satisfactory because it shows some similarities and differences between group 1 along with group 17, that is halogens, and fails to accommodate inner transition elements. And few elements are not arranged according to their electronic configuration. And lesser important facts to remember. Lowest electronegativity, cesium. Highest electronegativity, fluorine. Highest ionization potential, helium. Lowest ionization potential, cesium. Lowest electron affinity, noble gases. Highest electron affinity, chlorine. Least electropositive element, fluorine. Lowest melting point metal, mercury. Highest melting point and boiling point metal, tungsten. Lowest melting point, boiling point non-metal, helium. Notorious element, hydrogen. Lightest element, hydrogen. Smallest atomic size, hydrogen. Largest atomic size, cesium. Largest anionic size, iodide. Smallest cationic size, H+, that is proton. Most electropositive element, cesium. Element with electronegativity next to fluorine, oxygen. Group containing maximum number of gaseous elements in periodic table, 0 group. Total number of gaseous elements in periodic table, 11. Total number of liquid elements in periodic table, 6. Liquid elements in radioactive nature, francium. Total number of radioactive elements in periodic table, 25. Volatile D block elements, zinc, cadmium, mercury, and UUB. Element containing no neutron, that is hydrogen. Most abundant element in our earth is oxygen. Most abundant metal on the earth is aluminium. Element having maximum tendency for catenation, that is carbon. Non-metallic are having highest melting point and boiling point, that is carbon. That is in particular the diamond, which is an allotropic form of carbon. Metals showing highest oxidation number, osmium with +8 oxidation state, as well as ruthenium. Most electrovalent compound, cesium fluoride. Most stable carbonate, CS2CO3. Strongest alkali, CSOH, cesium hydroxide. Strongest basic oxide, CS2O. Best electricity conductor among metals, silver. Best electricity conductors among non-metal, graphite. Most poisonous element, plutonium. Liquid non-metal, chromium. Element kept in water, phosphorus. Element kept in kerosene, generally 1A group, that is except lithium. Element sublime on heating, iodine. Noble metals, gold as well as platinum, etc. Amphoteric metal, beryllium, zinc, aluminium, tin, lead, as well as gallium. Metalloid elements, silicon, acetine, tellurium, technetium, then germanium and tin. Non-metals having metallic luster, graphite and iodine. Heaviest naturally occurring element, uranium. Poorest conductor of electricity, diamond. Hardest naturally occurring element, diamond. Lightest solid metal, lithium. 90% of sun mass is occupied by hydrogen. Atmospheric oxides. These are the atmospheric oxides. Amphoteric oxide, sorry, it's amphoteric oxide, which acts as both acid as well as base. Neutral oxides of nonmetal, NO, CO, H2O, N2. Dry bleacher, hydrogen peroxide. Dry ice, solid carbon dioxide. Artificial explosive, TNT, RDX. First Nobel Prize of Chemistry was given to Van 't Hoff. Some isomorphous substance like FeSO4.7H2O, MgSO4.7H2O, ZnSO4.7H2O. Some efflorescent substances Na2CO3.10H2O, MgSO4.7H2O. First man-made element, technetium. Smallest period, first. Largest period in periodic table, sixth. Largest group in periodic table, that is 3B, that is third B, that is 32 elements. Most abundant D block element are metal, that is iron. Most abundant S block metal, calcium. Most stable element, technetium. Tellurium, highest density, that is having metals, osmium and iridium. Highest density non-metals, that is boron. So these are the general trends of different properties in the periodic and groups. So across the period, atomic radius decreases, ionization potential increases, electronegativity, electron affinity, covalent character of halides increases, metallic character decreases, oxidizing nature increases, reducing nature decreases, screening effect increases, effective nuclear charge increases, valency with respect to oxygen increases, basic character of hydroxide decreases, basic character of hydrides decreases, basic character of oxides decreases, strength of oxyacids increases, thermal stability of sulfate decreases, thermal stability of carbonates decreases, thermal stability of nitrates decreases, thermal stability of hydroxide decreases, density first increases, then decreases, electropositivity decreases, and down the group, this follows opposite trends. This is the concept map of classification of elements and periodicity in properties. So if this video is helpful for you, then please like the video and subscribe to my YouTube channel, Catalyst Chemistry Classes, and please share with your contacts and click the bell icon to get notification of new videos. Thanks for watching.